Hello everybody, it's Friday night and I am filming my Saturday morning makes. So welcome in, welcome in. I hope everyone has had a lovely week and they're ready to do some crafting over the weekend. This past week, Two Crafters, One Design, their theme last week was Thankful. So I told you I was going to come back on with Thankful cards. I was hoping to get to it earlier in the week, but my week was busy and I'm also working on a release for My Creative Time. So I'm uploading it tonight, Friday night. I don't know if I'll get another post done this weekend. So I'm going to call this my Saturday morning makes and we'll see what happens. I might have some Sunday afternoon makes too. But I'm coming on to share my my Thanksgiving cards for my family. And I am also, this is an ambassador post for ADORNit because I'm using products from Dianna Marcum and from her latest releases for the Recipe Stamp Club. And the Dianna Marcum Recipe Stamp Club is through ADORNit, and it's a club that you can join. It's a club kit that comes out every month, and you can select to receive just the recipe stamp or the add-on and the recipe stamp. And then they also tend to do a la carte stamp sets. So you have to go through the recipe club. If you want to join it, go to ADORNit and join the club. And then you're guaranteed the sets and you'll get shipped before anybody else. And the shipping is free. So that's what's good about the club, is you get shipped to each month for free. So that's a big savings. Or you can just wait for the sets to be uploaded into the ADORNit website, of course, and purchase them that way, a la carte or open stock, if you will, if they're available. So I just am coming on to share some Thanksgiving cards, and I'm going to show you the sets from ADORNit for that I was working with. Okay, so let me get a piece of paper here. The first set is this recipe club, the recipe set for this, for the Thanksgiving release, or the, I believe this release was from September. And so this one is pumpkin pie cheesecake, and man, this recipe sounds good. So just an adorable set. It has this extra little pumpkin and a little pumpkin with hearts here. And my sweet friend Marisa made some really cute notes with these stamps. And I shared her video on my community tab if you want to go take a look at it. She's the Pink Ape. Hi, Marisa. And I loved what she did on her channel with these sets. And we have an entire ADORNit ambassador team. I will try and link all their channels down below. Some of them are YouTube videos, some are Instagram. But you can also just go to the Create It with ADORNit page and see everything. So I worked with this pumpkin cheesecake set and I created this card. And this particular card is stamped on some rustic cream cardstock from Paper Tray Ink and colored with Copic markers. And then I had some turquoise tissue paper that had glitter in it. And I took gesso and I gessoed the paper down to some cardstock. And I did this about a year ago. And I had that sitting in my bin of scraps. And I thought it went really well with this and sort of added a touch of sparkle to the card. So the layer that's behind this that's what that layer is. It's tissue paper that's been gessoed onto some cardstock. So I cut that down and made the backer for the pumpkin pie cheesecake with that paper. And then I layered it all onto a beautiful orange piece of cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. It's one of their deepest orange colors. And I love how this turned out. I had so much fun coloring this. And this image is so, so beautiful. And my friend Dee of Elegant Embellishments, she also did watercoloring of these and did such a beautiful job. So many beautiful posts out there using these sets. So be sure to go to Create It with ADORNit. You can see the ambassador post, but you also get to see all the customers' posts. And I hope that all of you that are part of the club will go and post what you make there, because it's so much fun to see how different people use these stamp sets. So that's the first card, this pumpkin pie cheesecake. And inside, I used the stamp of the day for this week, which is this little Thanksgiving blessings stamp. And this was purchased, believe it or not, at Hobby Lobby. So that's the perfect little stamp for the inside of this card that I'm going to mail out for Thanksgiving. The only problem is when I went to stamp it, I didn't get it centered up. So I might add another little piece of blue paper up here so that it's less noticeable that it's not centered. But no big deal. It's a handmade card. They do not have to be perfect. They are made with love. So that is the recipe stamp set. And then we have the add-on. There's this little pumpkin pie shop. There's a piece of pie, a little leaf, thankful for sweet friends like you, and then this beautiful pumpkin vine. So these, I haven't used all of the stamps yet, but I did use this pumpkin pie shop. And I created this card here. And I did use the pumpkin from this, from the original set here. Let me take off my notes. I used this little pumpkin and I stamped it out a bunch of times and colored it. And then I popped it up just as if there's a bunch of pumpkins sitting out in front of the pumpkin pie shop. And I love how this card turned out. It's so sweet. And then I also used some of my stamps from this little wintertime stamp set. It's a 4x4 stamp set. You can purchase it on Amazon or Etsy from Wintertime Crafts. And I used a couple of the stamps in here just to add some little details to the card. And then I added 2 little banners. And this paper pad that I'm using is, it's the Heart Gingham paper pad. This is from, it's now from Sweet Miss Daisy Designs. You can get this at her Etsy shop. These were her designs when she worked for Impression Obsession, and she's now got her own shop called Sweet Miss Daisy Designs on Etsy. So this is Heart Gingham is one of her paper pads that you can order from there. And so that's the paper that I used here and here. And I also put 2 little flags up here. And then in the background here, this is an embossing plate, which I believe is from, I think it's from Concord and 9th in this. It's really pretty. And it's called Stitched Leaves Card Front Die. Stitched Vines Card Front Die. And it's from Concord and 9th. And Christina Werner has a beautiful new Christmas release out. She designs for them and beautiful new Christmas stuff. But anyway, so this one says Pumpkin Pie Shop. It has all the little pumpkins. And then inside there's the Thanksgiving blessings again. And I added 1 more little pumpkin to the back of this card. So that is using the add-on stamp set from Dianna Marcum. This card is the same Pumpkin Pie Shop, 2 different looks. One is watercolored and one is colored with Copics. So this is the Copic marker. You get a much more clear look. Now, I did make a mistake with this. I was going to put this back in and restamp over it when I was done watercoloring. And I had it all set up in my Misty to do so. And didn't I go and start making the card before I restamped it? And that's because I had to leave for the day to take my mom to an appointment. And when I came back, I was already in card making mode in my mind and I forgot to restamp it. And I couldn't stamp it before I left because it wasn't dry. So anyway, normally I would restamp this. Probably what I will do is just take a marker, one of my micron markers, and I can just darken the lines on this part of the, there's always a way to fix anything that's bothering you, but I may just darken the lines on this. We'll see. So that's the only thing that I wish I would have remembered to do, was to just restamp over this before I did anything else to it. But anyway, I still think it's beautiful. You know, handmade cards do not need to be perfect, and watercoloring is watercoloring. So anyway, I hope you like both versions. One again is Copic colored and the other one is painted. So, and the background of it, I'll tell you, really my favorite way to paint lately is with Distress inks. Distress ink re-inkers specifically. I use a lot of antique linen when I'm painting, but I really do like painting with the re-inkers. And here is the 6x8 set for the fall release, if you will. And I have not gotten to play with this yet, but this has such cute images. I think Alease, who is Lacey46 on YouTube, and I think she's Create with Alease on Instagram. But I'll try and link all of the ADORNit ambassadors. But if you go and look, I think she used this stamp. And there's, again, lots of posts that you can go see on the Create It with ADORNit. But this is so pretty. I love this Extra Grateful. I love this little acorn one with the leaves and the little berries. I can't wait to, that would be a fun one to paint. And then you've got these little pumpkins and apples with the little owl sitting on the stem. That's adorable. And I love this little cup. So a little steaming cup of a hot drink. So, and it says, "May your life be full of thanks and giving." So really, really sweet. I hope to get to do some watercoloring with this set also. And then since I have you today, I'm going to go ahead, because these have been out for a week. The Stamp It Tuesday video showcased the gingerbread release. And I think most of you know that gingerbread and snowman icons are probably my favorite two Christmas things. And I always wait for Dianna Marcum's gingerbread release. So this is the Recipe Stamp Club stamp, and I did stamp them out so that you guys can see them really clearly. So this is gingerbread brownies, and look at these adorable gingerbreads sitting on top of the bowl that says it has the recipe for gingerbread brownies. She's holding a little heart, and then he's holding a spoon with a heart. And then you have this stamp here, which is the little wooden spoon with a heart hanging down. You have the word joy, and the joy in the O, there's a little gingerbread and a little holly piece on top. You have this little ginger, and then you have this little ginger that's sitting inside of a little basket, if you will. So these are all images from the release, and this one I cut off a little bit, but you can still get the gist of it. So this is a little rolling pin with a gingerbread, and it has joy on its tummy. This one might be my favorite. Anything that has the word joy always gets me. You could cut this little joy heart out and stick it onto the bowl here. You could also cover up this if you wanted and add the joy over here. So you could do a lot with that little joy heart. You know, add it on her dress possibly. I'm not sure if it'll fit there, but you could try. But these are just such cute images. Look at this little house, gingerbread house cake with the ginger, the little candy canes, and the house there. And then the little mason jar, those always capture my heart. Dianna just does such a marvelous job. Look at this little, this is a cake stand with a bowl of gingers in it. And I do have a little tag I can show you made up with this one. So I am just getting started playing with this. On this tag, I just used a little square tag with scallops, and then a square mat, which is from Sweet Miss Daisy, or actually it's from I.O. back in the day, but it was designed by Anna. And then I stamped the image. I did add an additional stamp to the bowl here, but the next one I make, I'm going to use that joy to decorate the bowl, I think. So it'll say joy right in the middle. And I love that little bow at the top. I just take a piece of cardstock. I use my hand to shape it in a U, and then I glue it to the in between the liner to the back and then the front of the tag to make a little loop. And then I string my string through it. I tie it in a knot. So you're going to thread your string through, tie a knot, and then I hot glue an additional bow right on top of that knot. And so that's how I make my tie. And then I did use an additional stamp with a little tree down here in the corner, and I used to decorate the tag some mercury glass stickles. So that's what you're seeing on the tag here and along the base. And then that red stickles on the hearts is just some Recollections red glitter glue. So this is my first little tag using Dianna's gingerbread release this year, and I cannot wait to make more. So I'll definitely come back and do a full gingerbread video once I get these all created. So let me go ahead and show you. So these two, this stamp here with the spoon and the gingerbread brownies is the Recipe Stamp Club set. So if you're just a member that gets just this set, this is what you're going to receive. And think of all the cute tags you'll be able to make with this. So you're getting this image and this one here. Okay, so that's the recipe stamp. And then the add-on has these three stamps. So you have the joy. Let me put this behind so you can see. You have the joy, and the joy has this little ginger in the center and a little piece of holly with a berry. You have this little ginger right here. You have the sentiment Sweet Christmas, which I'm going to use on the inside of a card I'm going to show you in just a minute. And then you have this cute little basket stamp with the ginger inside of it. And then at the bottom, you have this gingerbread bakery. Let me set this aside for a second. At the bottom, you have another one of her little bakeries, and this one is the gingerbread bakery. Dianna is doing a whole series of buildings, and I just thought this was so cute, and I had to do this one right away. So here is a sneak peek at my gingerbread projects, and this is a watercolored gingerbread bakery stamp. So I stamped it out on watercolor paper from just Hobby Lobby. And I used, when you're going to do watercoloring, I used VersaFine Clear, or you can also get at ADORNit, you can get the India ink pad, and this will also work for watercolors. Okay, so that is the India ink. And so you'll stamp it out, let it dry or heat set it, and then you can take your watercolors and paint it. But I just had so much fun watercoloring this adorable bakery. So let me bring it closer so you guys can see it a little better. I watercolored it first, and then I tried to match papers to what I had done. And I had this scrap in my scrap bin for years. This is an October afternoon, I believe, paper from many years ago. And it was one of my favorite papers, and I think I bought a whole ream of it. It was 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper, and I'm down to just a few pieces left is all I have, just some scraps. But it's one of my favorite papers, and I thought it picked up really well on the tones that I had painted here. And so I used that in the background, and then I used this raspberry plaid paper. And if you're wondering what paper that is, that one came from this What's Cookin' Simple Stories paper pad, and it's this plaid right here. Okay, so that is from this What's Cooking Simple Stories paper pad. And this one has a lot of really pretty papers that you can definitely use for gingerbread cards. There's gingery papers, there's wood papers, and lots of raspberry tones and green tones. So I thought this one was a good one to use. So I did use that. And then also I should mention on the back of one of my cards, I used some of this mini gingham paper pack, again, designed by Anna White. And these are available at Sweet Miss Daisy, and she just came out with some additional new ones. So she's on Etsy. If you type in Sweet Miss Daisy stamps, Sweet Miss Daisy designs, her products will come up. So so that is my little gingerbread bakery card. And then on the inside of this card, I'm going to use this Sweet Christmas stamp, which is part of this release. So that's what I'm going to put on the inside. I'll put Stamp Sweet Christmas right there. So I still need to finish up this card a little bit. The reason I haven't stamped anything yet is because the glitter glue that I've added, it isn't dry yet. So I did use some white paint pen as well as some glitter over the paint pen. And I need to wait for that to fully dry before I stamp the inside and then finish the back of the card. And just for reference purposes, you guys, the majority of the cards I'm showing you tonight are A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But this one is a 5 by 7 card. Okay, so a big difference in the size, if you will. Okay, so this release with the gingers is my favorite every year. My biggest complaint is I wish they would put this out in July. I wish they would do Christmas in July and put gingers out in July and maybe again in November. Or at least Christmas related stamps, because I just love all of the Christmas crafting. But unfortunately, you get them in November and you only have like 2 weeks to make things, and that's just not enough time when you have a big family. So I have been working with some of Dianna's other gingerbread products, and if you guys want to stick with me for a long video, I will just really quickly flip through and show you some of the other things that I have made with Dianna's many, many gingerbread products. So there's this Bake Someone Happy card. So I am going to move this out of the way because this is still drying and I don't want to wreck it. So let me set that over there. And I'm just going to slowly, let me move this out of the way too. All right. I'm just going to pull things out and show you what I've done over the years. So here's this little snowman. This is one of her earlier stamps, and I love that she combined gingers and snowmen. I think she could do a whole series of just gingerbread and snowmen together. I think it would be so sweet. So there's that one. This was one of the first things I made with these cute little gingers that she did, and she has a to from stamp, and I used a bowl in her little mixer. Here's this one. This one uses some vellum snowflakes behind this cute image of a sifter. And I love how the gingers in this one have these little stripes in them. Isn't that adorable? And then I did this little star tag. This uses the My Creative Time star dies that she just came out with a couple months ago, these Prim star dies. And if you layer them up, you can fit this little ginger, and it makes the cutest little Christmas tag. And on the end of it, I have a Merry Christmas, which I still need to, I need to add a little bit of shading with some tea dye ink to that. I forgot to do it, it looks like, on that one. And then I have these tags. This is one of her image, Ginger Spice. These tags need some overstamping added to them. I just haven't finished it yet. And I'll probably do a little bit of overstamping and then add a little bit of tea dye ink to just make these look more baking related. But the base of the tag is all done. And then I did these two. This is one of her mitten gingerbread tags that says, "Life is what you bake it." and this is just one of my favorite images. I love that it's baking related. So those turned out so cute, and these tag dies are from Emma, also at My Creative Time. Then we have this sugar and spice tag. I don't know if you can see that it's embossed with snowflake press plate in the background. That's from Honeybee Stamps. But I love this little bowl, and I just added a button with some twine to the bowl, and then this sugar and spice tag from LOTV DigiShop. I love how this one turned out. And this ticking stripe paper in the background is from Irala Shop. She has a set of mini papers that are ticking stripe, and I use the brown one on this tag. Let's see. Then I have these tags. These are probably one of my favorites too. They're all my favorites. But I did these, I think earlier in the year this year. And this again uses that ticking stripe paper from Irala Shop and some little shell buttons. The tag itself, let me set one of them down. This is just a loop of red cardstock that I tied the twine through, and then I added a little Baked with Love tag from LOTV DigiShop, a little button with twine tied through, and then this is a stamp from Dianna Marcum, this cute little scoop with the gingers in it. So I love, these are very homespun looking, which is my favorite style. I do like homespun the best. So those turned out so cute. I love those tags, and I made these once before, and my sister wanted me to make more, so I did them again this year. Here's a little, these are some of Diana's hot cocoa mugs, and I made a little card with this, and inside it says, in life, it's not what we have, but who we have that matters most. And all of you are who I have, and I really enjoy sharing art with you. So there's that one. And then look at this one. Oh my goodness. I just love it when Dianna pairs snowmen and gingers. So we have a little snowman and a little ginger, and this snowman hot cocoa has marshmallows and a candy cane, and then there's a piece of holly. And I just added a jingle bell and a Merry Christmas. I used some candy cane striped paper to make my paper loop, and then I tied my twine through it. I added a jingle bell on a garment pin. And this just turns out so cute. And then on the back, it says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." And that's again from the LOTV DigiShop. So just so much fun. I just love making tags using Diana's images. So this is one of my favorite sets also. This one says Love, Joy, Hope. And this is 3 bowls stacked up with a ginger sitting in top. It's such a beautiful image. And this one I made a couple years ago. I think when I first started with ADORNit, when Dianna Marcum asked me to be part of her design team. This was one of my first projects. Here's this little ginger. This is one of her Diana's gingerbreads. I believe I did this one with her wood mount stamp back in the day, but you can also purchase this on ADORNit's website. It's a little bigger image, and it's her Grandma's Gingerbread stamp, and one of my very favorite stamps of all time. And then this is her gingerbread loaf image, and just sweet tags. Here's another card. This one says Mary on it, and it's all these gingers inside of a bowl with holly berries. Let's see. Here's another one of the gingerbread loaf. And this is one of my favorite ones with this dark brown polka dot paper in the back. I love micro dot paper, and it's really hard to find. So, because a lot of it is bigger polka dots, but I just love it when it's micro dot like that. So pretty. So here's a smaller version of the gingerbread loaf. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Good things come to those who bake. Isn't that the truth? So just a sweet little gingerbready card. It says warm hugs on the back. Let's see. And then I also have this little, this is her little mason jar with the heart cookies in it. And this I actually did for Valentine's Day, but it still looks gingerbreadish to me. So, and one last gingerbread loaf one. So those are just some of the many gingerbread tags that I've made through the years using Diana's wonderful stamps. So many iconic images that she has come out with and continues to draw for us. And I just pray that she can continue making these wonderful gingerbread images for many more years to come. Dianna, my heart is full whenever I work with your art. And I'm so very honored to work for you and for ADORNit and to get to share your beautiful stamp images and creations that I get to make with them and then share with my family and friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Saturday Morning Makes. I believe it's my 21st episode of the year. I want to thank ADORNit and Dianna Marcum for all the beautiful art that they create for us to work with. And I hope you have fun this weekend, that you get to take some time to create anytime during the week that you have a chance. And if you do create something and you want to share a picture or a video, I hope you will hashtag it SatMornMakes or Two Crafters One Design or Crafting Christmas all year long. Anyway, I'll put all the hashtags in the drop-down menu if you make snowmen. My sweet friend Nancy, who did so much to keep Saturday Morning Makes going when I was gone. Nancy, thank you. And she does the hashtag For the Love of Snowmen, which was started by our sweet Anna White and continued by our wonderful Nancy. Nancy is a designer for Sweet Miss Daisy now also. So just so blessed to have their inspiration for all of us. And to every one of you that shares art and so, provides inspiration, thank you so much for joining in this wonderful community. And I just had so much fun seeing everybody's projects last. It's been a long video. If you've stuck with me this long, hooray. I so appreciate you watching. I so enjoy your lovely comments. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And most importantly, if I'm not back to share more before the holidays, happy Thanksgiving. But I hope to come on and share all my Christmas tags before I distribute them for Thanksgiving. So I am still feverishly working away, and I hope to just do a little run through of all the tags that I've made so far this year. Okay? All right, everybody, take good care. And don't forget, this week is ATC with Two Crafters One Design. I'm hoping maybe to make an ATC card, but we'll see if I can squeeze it in or not. But at least I got the thankful cards done, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the little cards that I made, including the pumpkin pie shop and the gingerbread bakery. So everybody take good care, and I'll be back with you again soon. Bye now.